stop and see my cute little Eskimo. Oh, my sweet Fraulein down in Berlin town makes my heart start to yearn. And my China doll down in old Hong Kong waits for my return. Pretty Polynesian baby over the sea.
This is a national emergency. An enemy attack on Canada is considered probable. On the authority of the Canadian government, sirens in Canada are sounding or have sounded the alert warning. This means that the government expects an enemy attack on North America. Listen for further instructions. Organize your family or group so that someone continues to listen while others make preparations for taking shelter or moving to a safer place. Do not take shelter now. Take cover when you hear the take cover warning, which will be a rising and falling note on the sirens or short blasts on horns or whistles, which will mean that attack is expected in a few minutes. Do not use your telephone. The circuits must be left clear for military and other civil defense emergency services. Keep calm. Survival instructions for everyone will follow on this broadcast immediately. If this station goes off the air, try to find another station giving instructions to your area. Detailed survival instructions for everyone will follow. Pay close attention. Write them down if you can. They will be given first for those who plan to leave the more likely target areas. Second, for those who have chosen to stay in target areas. And third, for people in all other areas. Now, first, for those who plan to leave target areas. Gather your family and check your car to make sure it will get you to your destination. If you had planned to go with someone else, check on this arrangement. Take warm, protective clothing for each member of the family. Take a blanket for each person. Take 2 quarts of water per person and as much food as you can carry, including baby food if required. Take special medicines if needed for the sick, such as digitalis or insulin. Take a battery radio if you have one. If you're going with someone else, pack these items in bags to carry to the meeting place. If you're using your own car, take additional items such as eating utensils, flashlights, safety matches, shovel, an axe, and rope. Make sure all members of the family know their destination in case they become separated. Make sure each person has positive identification, which will assist in reuniting separated families and the identification of lost children and casualties. Before you leave, turn off electricity and water mains, shut doors, shutters, and windows, and remove inflammable curtains or drapes. Dampen all stoves or fires. Drive carefully to the nearest main evacuation route. Follow the traffic plan and obey all instructions of the traffic police. If your car breaks down, get it off the road quickly and go with someone else. If the take cover is sounded, stop and take cover on the floor, in a ditch or culvert, or any place that you can reach quickly, which will provide protection from blast and heat. Now, second, here are instructions for those who have chosen to stay. I repeat, stay in target areas. You must first find protection from blasts and heat effects, which will come if your area is hit. Concrete block fallout shelters do not provide protection against blasts and should not be entered until after an explosion has taken place. Remember, if you're in the area of an explosion and survive the blast and heat effects, you will still have 20 or 30 minutes to find protection from the fallout which would come down. If your area is not hit, you will have even more time, possibly hours, to prepare protection against fallout, which may come from explosions elsewhere. If you do not have an anti-blast shelter, you can improvise shelter against blast and heat in the following ways. Find the strongest part of the basement, usually under the stairs. Build a lean-to with bed springs and mattresses to protect against objects which may fly around. Pile heavy articles, such as trunks, around the shelter area. Break the glass in basement windows and block them up. If you do not have a basement, select the strongest central part of the house or building. Keep out of line of windows, which will shatter, and remove small objects which would fly around the shelter area. Again, mattresses and heavy trunks or furniture can be used for protection. A deep ditch, trench, or a culvert will provide some protection. If this alternative is selected, the location should be well away from any buildings which could collapse onto them. Turn off the gas and water, close doors, shutters, and windows, and remove inflammable curtains or drapes. Leave the electricity on only if you need it to operate your radio. If you have a prepared fallout or anti-blast shelter in your home or a nearby building, make sure that it is stocked with emergency supplies of food and water, medical supplies for the sick and babies, warm clothing, blankets, fire extinguisher, and sanitary supplies. If you do not have a prepared shelter, put your emergency supplies in your improvised anti-blast shelter. If the take cover sounds, take shelter from the blast and heat, and take your battery radio with you, or turn up the house radio so that you can hear it and listen for further instructions. If an explosion takes place, put out fires and take care of the injured, and then take the best shelter you can against the radioactive fallout.